The Justice Department planning to discuss the issue later today. In our studio now, Fox News legal analyst Lise Wheel and David Bruno, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. Okay, Lise, this was the deadline today.
Yes.
Department of Justice told the governor of North Carolina, you got to make a decision here.
Right.
He said today that he, obviously he felt pressured.
Oh, they only had 3 business days to respond.
Yeah, 3, but also that they wanted him to come out and sort of make this public claim that he was on their side now.
That he agreed on the law. He wanted just 2 more weeks to say, first of all, they don't agree on the law. He wanted 2 more weeks to say why they didn't agree with him on the law. And he said, absolutely not. But here, for the state, they're looking at, they took in, North Carolina public schools alone received $861 million in federal funding last year. So this is a big money ticket item. I mean, they're the feds are almost sort of holding ransom North Carolina on just on the money issue itself, let alone the federal law issue.
But instead, North Carolina sued the Department of Justice today.
Sure.
They had every right to do that, right?
Right, absolutely. And the letter that they received last week from the DOJ gave them certain options. And they could have done nothing. They could have said, you know what, file your lawsuit or withdraw your federal funding. But no, they made a proactive approach and they filed the lawsuit. And they're asking for a court to interpret the law, which really is gray in the current moment. The United States Supreme Court has not come down to determine whether or not sex and transgender is protected under the civil rights.
Let's listen to the governor of North Carolina and his accusations against the Obama administration.
Now, right now, the Obama administration is bypassing Congress by attempting to rewrite the law and set basic restroom policies, locker room policies, and even shower policies for public and private employers across the country, not just North Carolina.
Now, what I thought was interesting, Lise, was that apparently the judge that's been assigned to this case is a conservative who often relies on states' rights arguments. What would that mean here?
Well, that would work for North Carolina's favor because, of course, this is a states' rights issue. North Carolina is saying, hey, basically, feds, stay out of this. We passed this law in North Carolina. This is what we thought North Carolinians wanted. North Carolina agreed with this. Stay out of this. That would be pro-North Carolina, although, because this has been a federal law issue and because many states have agreed and disagreed, there's a split in the states. That then argues for this going to the Supreme Court because, as you know, the Supremes like to take up cases where there's a split among the states.
Okay, so even if this conservative judge agreed with North Carolina, there would be an appeal.
Yeah,
you think it will go all the way up?
Yeah,
yes.
I think it will. It'll have to go through the circuits and then up to the United States Supreme Court. Supreme Court in a recent case, Price versus Waterhouse, really did expand the sex definition and talked about gender considerations. That was a discrimination case. So there is sort of the tea leaves where there may be some expansion all the way up in the United States Supreme Court on this issue.
But you understand, I know you both do, there's so much wiggle room on both sides here.
Yes.
Because, I mean, how are you going to prove when you go to the bathroom what your birth was?
But it's also how you identify.
And how you identify, but then, and for people to take advantage of that. That's the other side of the equation.
And the other part of the issue, the North Carolina part of the issue, is they say, look, it's not even how you identify. There's a real governmental interest here. We don't want people that could be predators in these bathrooms.
Sure.
There's 2 sides to this argument. It's probably going to end up right at the top.
Or like 18 sides.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you, attorneys.
Got it.